What if the one change that would make women feel an uncontrollable pull toward you isn't a line, a trick, or a look, but 5 traits that rewire how they read you in the first 3 seconds and keep intensifying every minute you're near them? Stay with me, because I'm going to lay out the 5 male traits that trigger deep attraction consistently, traits you can cultivate on command. As you listen, notice which one you already have in seed form and which one you've been neglecting, because the moment you combine all 5, you stop asking, "What should I say?" and start noticing that she leans in first, keeps the conversation going, and remembers you when every other guy blurs together. The goal here is simple: build a masculine presence that drives them crazy, not because you're loud, flashy, or needy, but because you project rare signals of value, calm, and direction that most men never learn to switch on. Here's the frame. Attraction is not a debate. It's an instinctive scan. Her nervous system is constantly asking, is this man grounded or unstable, leading or drifting, selective or desperate, self-respecting or self-abandoning? If your behavior answers those questions with clarity, without you having to talk about it, you create tension, curiosity, and the desire to qualify to you. You're not trying to convince her. You're letting your calibration, boundaries, and micro-behaviors do the convincing. That's why today's 5 traits are designed to show, not tell. You'll get specific behaviors, voice and body cues, and conversational moves that hook attention, escalate interest, and lock in memory, without theatrics, without chasing, and without breaking your integrity. Trait number 1 is grounded self-possession. Think of it as calm power, your ability to regulate your state under social pressure and hold your frame regardless of who enters the room. Grounded men don't rush to fill silence, don't over-explain, and don't implode when they sense beauty. Your breath sits low in the body, your shoulders relax, your gaze is steady rather than darting, your speech has punctuation, meaning you allow micro-pauses at natural breaks. This is not an act. It's a physiological signal. Women read it as safety plus status. When your heartbeat doesn't spike around her, her body relaxes and opens because you're not transmitting anxiety to manage. Practice a simple pattern. Exhale longer than you inhale while you approach, while you speak, and especially while she tests you. When she teases, disagrees, or delays a response, you treat it like weather passing through. 1 beat, a small half smile, and then you continue. You don't flinch. That flinch is what kills attraction for most men. The grounded man's secret is this: he doesn't audition. He behaves like a man who already has options, time, and a mission, because he does, or he's building them. The result is a steady, unhurried tempo that gives your words weight. Slow men with purpose are magnetic. Fast, fidgety men are forgettable. To install grounded self-possession today, own your space with 3 micro-habits. First, plant your feet shoulder width and imagine your weight slightly in your heels, not your toes. This drops fidgeting by half. Second, still your hands until you choose to gesture. Default stillness reads as control, and chosen gesture reads as intention. Third, use the 1-second pause before answering. It signals that you don't perform for approval, you respond when ready. When she finishes a sentence, you allow that 1 beat. Eyes steady, chin neither lifted nor lowered, and then you answer. That beat is a loop opener in her mind. She senses composure, wonders why you're so calm, and unconsciously starts to chase your attention because you're not desperately throwing your energy at her. Stay to the end because I'll give you a rapid drill that locks this trait into your muscle memory in 5 minutes a day. Trait number 2 is directional ambition, the sense that your life is aimed, and you are the one aiming it. Attraction isn't just about what you look like tonight, it's about whether your trajectory is compelling. Directional men carry an invisible gravity because their choices are organized by a mission. You're not trying to impress, you're building. You're not consuming novelty, you're producing value. Women feel this in how you set boundaries with your time, how you talk about your week, and how you make offers. Instead of, "We should hang out sometime," you say, "Thursday 7:30. I'm checking a little wine bar that just opened. 20 minutes from you. Join if you like." That's a man moving somewhere and inviting her into his motion. Direction is also how you handle distraction. When she throws a test, like changing the topic when you're making plans, you calmly loop back. "We can talk about that in a second. Thursday or Friday?" That's not rude. That's leadership. You're creating the container so chemistry can unfold inside it. Build directional ambition by defining your next measurable 90-day target in health, craft, and social life, and speak from that reality when you interact. You don't brag, you reference. I've got early gym this quarter because I'm leaning into heavier lifts, or I'm carving out 2 nights a week strictly for deep work, no phone. These are not flexes, they are signals. I move my life on purpose. The masculine is judged by direction, not by decoration. When she perceives that you're sculpting your days rather than being dragged by them, she relaxes into your lead because you can handle both your path and the moment with her. Trait number 3 is selective abundance, the paradox of being both in demand and picky. Nothing drives interest faster than a man who has options and standards. Selective abundance isn't about boasting, it's about micro behaviors that reveal choice. You don't respond instantly to every message, you respond thoughtfully when you're available. You don't accept last-minute invitations that derail your priorities. You propose alternatives that fit your calendar. You compliment sparingly and precisely, not for validation, but to reflect what you genuinely notice. I like how you hold eye contact when you talk. It's rare. Then you move the conversation forward. You also withdraw attention cleanly when curiosity isn't reciprocated. If she replies with minimalist, low-effort texts for days, you don't escalate. You step back without resentment. That quiet withdrawal, no argument, no chase, communicates your standard, reciprocity, or nothing. Women find this irresistible because it confirms what your calm already suggested. You have options and you respect yourself. To practice selective abundance, adopt the 2-offer rule and the mirror rule. The 2-offer rule: you make 2 clear, concrete invitations on 2 different days. If she declines both without counter-offering a time, you release the thread. No third offer, no pressure. The mirror rule: you match her investment, not mirroring mood, but mirroring effort. If she writes 2 lines, you write 2 to 4 lines. If she proposes a place, you confirm and lead logistics. If she shows up on time, you reward with presence. This alignment removes neediness and lets attraction breathe. Remember, abundance is not just having choices, it's being able to walk away with your peace intact. That energy is rare, and they chase it. Trait number 4 is emotionally attuned dominance. Let's break that down because it's the most misunderstood. Dominance here doesn't mean controlling someone. It means you can take charge of moments, decisions, and atmosphere while staying attuned to her signals. You notice her pacing, her breathing, the subtle shifts in her eyes, and you calibrate. You create momentum without steamrolling. You lead the walk, choose the table, order the first round if she's comfortable, and you check in with one sentence that shows you're paying attention. If you want something else, we can switch. You're decisive, not rigid. When the conversation dips, you spark it with a frame-shifting question that isn't generic. What's a hill you die on that most people around you don't get? Or, what did you quit in the last 12 months that improved your life? These questions do 2 things. They pull her into meaning, and they place you as the conductor of the interaction. That's dominance as service, guiding both of you to a deeper, more alive space. Emotional attunement also means you hold structure when emotions rise. If she becomes nervous, you slow the tempo. If she gets playful, you allow mischief but keep the direction. If she tests you, you smile and escalate the play rather than defending yourself. For example, if she says, "You look like trouble," you reply, "Only the fun kind," then change locations or topics with ease. The subtext is, "I can handle your energy." Women respond to this because it reassures their nervous system that your power isn't chaotic, it's responsive. You're not a statue. You're a captain who actually senses the sea. Trait number 5 is disciplined desire. This is the art of showing interest clearly while never tipping into need. Most men either hide desire out of fear or flood it and collapse the mystery. Disciplined desire is unashamed and patient. You look her in the eyes 3 beats longer than average. You allow the charge to build in silence. You state intentions without apology. "I like this dynamic. Let's see where it goes." Or, "You're intriguing. I want to know what's behind that look." Then you move on. You never negotiate for attraction or try to persuade her to feel something. You also separate desire from outcome. If she reciprocates, great. You lead the escalation with care. If she doesn't, you pivot with grace, and your life continues full of momentum. That separation is why your presence feels addictive. You aren't fishing for a reaction. You're savoring the moment and deciding how far you want to take it. To build disciplined desire, train your attention and your edges. Attention. When you're with her, be with her. Phone away, shoulders squared, eyes steady, voice low and paced. You don't scan the room. You let her feel the totality of your presence. Edges. Know your lines. What do you say no to? What behaviors are a deal breaker? What pace feels authentic to you? Speak these edges calmly when needed. I don't do last-minute cancellations twice. Or, if we're going to keep talking, I want real conversation, not just memes. Women lean into men who know their edges because it signals maturity and self-respect. Your yes has value because your no exists. Now let me weave these 5 traits into the flow of a real interaction so you can hear the rhythm. You walk into a room with grounded self-possession, breath slow, eyes steady. You let the environment come to you. You're not hunting, you're scanning. You catch a glance, she looks away, then back. Directional ambition kicks in. You move with purpose. Close distance with an angle, not head-on. You open simply, context-anchored. I'm curious. This place always soundtracks like it's 2 a.m. on a Tuesday. What's your take? Vibe or noise? You hold eye contact as she answers, one corner of your mouth lifting. You speak at a measured tempo. You let silence punctuate. She teases you. You seem very sure of yourself. You let it land, pause one beat, then with emotionally attuned dominance you reply, I'm sure about what I like. Jury's still out on you. You smile just enough to diffuse, and you gesture for a shift in location. Walk with me to the bar. I want to hear your unpopular opinion. That's leadership paired with attunement. You invite, you don't drag. At the bar, you run selective abundance in the subtext. You're not oversharing, you're not overselling. When she asks what you do, you frame it with direction. I build things that make complex problems simpler, fun, frustrating, worth it. No resume dump. You ask a frame-shifting question. She answers. You offer a precise compliment. You answer like you think for yourself. Rare. Then you return to your path. Thursday, I'm checking a spot with live vinyl. Join for a quick drink. 7:30. If she says maybe, you hold your ground. Cool. Decide by tomorrow. I'm locking my week. That's selective abundance again. When you end the conversation, you don't linger. Disciplined desire closes the loop. A warm look, a light touch on her elbow if appropriate. Nice meeting you, don't be boring, and you leave first. That exit, clean and grounded, writes your name into her curiosity. Let's upgrade each trait with precise, practice-ready drills you can run today. For grounded self-possession, use the 5-minute composure circuit. 1 minute of slow nasal breathing with a 4-count inhale and a 6-count exhale. 1 minute of wall lean stance. Heels slightly grounded, glutes lightly engaged, shoulders back, chin neutral. 1 minute of gaze training. Pick a point and hold soft focus without blinking fast. 1 minute of deliberate pauses. Read a paragraph aloud and insert a 1-second pause at commas, a 2-second pause at periods. 1 minute of still hands conversation. Speak while your hands rest calmly on your thighs or the table. Do this daily for a week, and your baseline changes. For directional ambition, run the 90-day triad. Pick one health target. For example, add 60 total kilo to your combined big lifts, or cut your 5K by 2 minutes. One craft target. Ship a portfolio piece, close 2 new clients, publish 1 long-form piece, and 1 social target. Host a micro-gathering every 2 weeks. Put these on a visible board. When you talk, reference what you're building. Women feel the gravity of a man with a scoreboard, and you'll feel it too. For selective abundance, implement the calendar shield. Choose 2 evenings weekly that are untouchable: training, deep work, or social with quality people. When someone tries to pull you into plan roulette, you propose a time that doesn't violate the shield. If she flakes without rescheduling, you don't punish. You simply don't reoffer. This simple boundary multiplies your attractiveness because your time has structure and you're not for sale to the highest bidder of novelty. For emotionally attuned dominance, rehearse 3 transitions: location, topic, and tempo. Location. Let's grab fresh air, 5 minutes, delivered warm and assumptive. Topic. Hold that, curious about something, then ask your frame shifter. Tempo. If energy spikes, you slow your voice by 10% and lower your volume by 10%. If energy dips, you lean in slightly and sharpen your consonants for crispness. Practice these alone, then with friends, then in low-stakes social situations. Your leadership will become second nature. For disciplined desire, commit to the eye contact rule. In conversation, hold eye contact while listening, break occasionally while speaking, and in micro-silences count 3 heartbeats before looking away. Add the statement of intent. Once per interaction, say one clean, calibrated line that names your attraction without pressure. You're fun to talk to. There's a calm about you I like. Or, you're trouble, but I like your kind of trouble. Then you carry on. This signals bravery and composure. Remember, you're not asking for approval. You're letting her feel your polarity and trusting the moment. Let's address common mistakes that sabotage these traits even in otherwise strong men. Number 1. Over-explaining. When she asks a question, you answer simply and stop. Attraction needs air. Over-explaining suffocates it. Number 2. Fake indifference. Pretending not to care is not the same as disciplined desire. Women are exquisitely sensitive to the difference between calm interest and cold detachment. You want warm steel, centered but engaged. Number 3. Performative dominance. If you lead without attunement, you look like a caricature. Always check microsignals: pupil size, breathing speed, shoulder tension, micro smiles. Lead with care. Number 4. Inconsistent boundaries. If your words say, "I'm busy," but your actions show you're on call 24/7, your frame collapses. Your calendar must match your claims. Number 5. Outcome addiction. The moment you hook your mood to whether she texts back within 10 minutes, you leak anxiety. Tie your mood to your process. Did you keep your standards, your training, your mission today? That's your scoreboard. Now let's sharpen your conversational arsenal with prompts that reveal your traits organically. To demonstrate direction, use future-oriented frames. I'm experimenting with a 6 a.m. routine this quarter. Curious, what's one habit that actually stuck for you? To demonstrate selective abundance, use options plus clarity. I have 2 windows this week, Thursday night or Sunday afternoon. Which suits you? To demonstrate attuned dominance, use environmental leadership. It's loud here. Walk with me 10 steps. You'll like the patio. To demonstrate disciplined desire, use perceptive compliments that land in subtext, not cliché. You listen before you answer. That's rare, then continue. Each of these lines carries a trait. You're not telling her you're confident. You're letting her feel it. Body language amplifiers seal the deal. Keep your gestures compact and purposeful. Palms occasionally up when inviting, palm down when deciding. Angle your body at 45 degrees at first, then square up as rapport deepens. This mirrors escalation without crowding her. When you laugh, let it be low and brief. Don't explode or perform. When she speaks, tilt your head slightly and still your body. Stillness equals attention. If you touch, start neutrally at the shoulder or elbow in a moment that makes sense. Congratulations, a shared joke. Then release first. Ending touch first is powerfully attractive. It signals control and leaves her skin asking a question. Let's talk about tests because you will be tested. A test is not an attack, it's a calibration. She needs to know if your frame survives contact. When she challenges, minimize words, maximize warmth. If she says, "You seem like a player," you say, "I'm selective," then pivot. Tell me, what do you overthink that you shouldn't? If she delays plans, you don't argue. You say, "No rush, Thursday's open, after that I'm booked," and you move on. If she becomes sarcastic, you don't mirror negativity. You acknowledge with a grin and redirect. Spicy, keep it for later. What's your take on... You're not dodging, you're choosing the dance. The man who chooses the dance is unforgettable. Your voice is a stealth weapon. 3 adjustments make it attractive instantly. Slower onset, lower average pitch, clearer articulation. Before you speak, exhale. Start your sentence on that exhale. Let your first syllable be clean, not rushed. Aim your resonance into your chest, not your throat. You'll feel the vibration. Articulate consonants, T, K, P, so your words cut through noise. Women follow voices that feel like anchors. Do not mumble. Do not speed. Do not upspeak at the end of statements. Statements end down. Questions lift. That single distinction separates leaders from pleasers in her nervous system. Grooming and style are not the trait. Your presence is. but aesthetics amplify your signals. Keep hair and beard intentional, not accidental. Your clothes should fit your frame. Ownership beats brand. Two elements matter most: silhouette and texture. A clean silhouette, shoulders defined, waist slightly tapered, reads as disciplined. Texture, denim, leather, knit, reads as tactile and masculine. Neutral palette with one bold element keeps attention where it belongs: your eyes, your voice, your energy. Minimal accessories, each with a story. The way you wear your clothes should say, "I choose," not "I'm trying." Now, embed these traits into your day so they become effortless. Morning. Silence before screens, breathwork, and training. You can't radiate calm power if you're flooded by notifications. Midday. Carve a deep work block where you pursue your mission uninterrupted. Evening. Socialize deliberately. One location where conversation is possible, not chaos. Practice your transitions, your pauses, your frame-shifting questions. Weekly. Audit your boundaries. Where did you say yes when you meant no? Where did you chase when you should have invited? Adjust. Monthly. Add one challenge that scares you enough to grow. Speak to strangers for 10 minutes straight. Host a small event. Take a class that sharpens your craft. Growth fuels direction. Direction fuels magnetism. Let's tighten your text game to match your in-person energy. The formula is simple. Clear, light, forward. Clear means no essays. Light means playful, not performative. Forward means towards the next moment together. You open with a reference to something real, you add one line of personality, and you propose. Example. You've got a dangerous laugh. Quick espresso Thursday, 7:30, 15 minutes. I'll bring the bad jokes. If she delays, you don't fill the void. If she counters with a different time, you accommodate if it fits your calendar. If she says she's busy without offering an alternative, you wait a cycle and then release. Remember selective abundance. Your attention is premium. You happily invest where it grows. Conflict is another attraction amplifier when handled well. A masculine frame doesn't avoid friction, it metabolizes it. If there's a disagreement, you slow down, you acknowledge her perspective without capitulation, and you propose a workable path. I hear you. Let's do this. We'll try it your way tonight. Next time we'll test my plan. That's confident flexibility. If she crosses a line, you name it calmly. I don't do disrespect. Let's reset or pause here. Boundaries delivered with low drama are intoxicating because they prove your self-respect isn't for sale. Sexual tension is most powerful when it's paced. Disciplined desire means you escalate when the moment supports it, not when your nerves demand relief. You move closer gradually, you touch briefly, and release. You let silence accumulate before the next move. You don't rush to the end point, you savor the build. The paradox is this: the longer you can hold tension without cracking, the more she invests. That patience reads as mastery. Mastery is rare. Rare is irresistible. Now, a fast audit you can run before any date or social event to switch these traits on. Number 1. Breath and posture reset. 2 minutes of exhale heavy breathing, 2 posture checks. Lengthen the back of your neck, drop your shoulders. Number 2. Intention. Decide the energy you're bringing. Calm and curious. Not performing, not extracting. Number 3. Question and offer. 1 uncommon question to open her mind, 1 offer to lead the moment. Example. What's something you love that most people never notice? And let's take a quick walk. There's a spot with better light. Number 4. Boundary. Remember 1 standard you will keep tonight, no matter what. Maybe it's leaving at a certain time. Maybe it's not drinking past 2 glasses. Maybe it's not over-texting afterwards. Carve that into your mind. Number 5. Release outcome. Say to yourself, I give my best energy and keep my peace. This is the state of a man women chase. If you're thinking, do I need all 5 traits at once? Here's the truth. Each one compounds the others. Grounded self-possession without direction looks zen but aimless. Direction without selective abundance looks hungry. Selective abundance without emotional attunement looks cold. Emotional attunement without disciplined desire feels friendly but sexless. Disciplined desire without grounded self-possession turns to tension without trust. When you stack them, you create a full-spectrum signal. calm and intense, warm and selective, decisive and sensitive. That duality is the drug. I want you to imagine the next time you enter a room. You're not scanning for validation. You're selecting where to invest your attention. You carry silence like it belongs to you. Your eyes meet hers and hold, not as a challenge, but as an invitation. Your voice lands low and unhurried. You ask one question that opens her mind. You lead a small movement through space. You propose a time with clarity. You reward reciprocity and release scarcity. You show desire without apology and without rush. You close loops and leave one open so she needs to see you again. This is not fantasy. It's physics of behavior. It's you, trained and deliberate. Before we finish, engrave these 5 cues: short, practical, and unforgettable. 1. Pause, then speak. 2. Propose, then move. 3. Match, then lead. 4. Desire, then release. 5. Standards, then softness. Pause, then speak, signals calm power. Propose, then move, signals direction. Match, then lead, signals abundance and attunement. Desire, then release, signals disciplined polarity. Standards, then softness, signals that your strength has heart. Women don't fall for noise, they fall for signal. Be that signal. Here's your 5-minute nightly ritual to lock this in. Stand tall in front of a mirror. Breathe low and slow for 60 seconds. Look into your own eyes, then deliberately relax the muscles around them. Speak 3 sentences with a 1-second pause at commas and a 2-second pause at periods. State your 90-day direction out loud. Name one boundary you kept today. Name one moment you led with attunement. Name one way you showed desire cleanly. Then ask yourself, where did I chase? Where did I fold? Where did I perform? Adjust tomorrow's plan. 5 minutes. That's how steel is forged in small fires. From here, your job isn't to memorize lines, it's to embody principles. Grounded self-possession, directional ambition, selective abundance, emotionally attuned dominance, disciplined desire. When these become your default, you stop trying to be attractive and start being inevitable. The world feels your presence before you speak. She feels safe and excited in the same breath. And that combination is what drives them crazy, in the best possible way.